Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining. Today, we're looking forward to today's webinar, Mastering the Listing Template Editor. First, before we get started, just a couple logistics. First, we will be posting a recording of this webinar to the eDirectory blog within 24 hours of the webinar. So if you miss anything and want to check back later, you can go to eDirectory.com in the blog session and get the recording of the webinar. And second, if anybody has any questions or comments, just pop them into the chat and we will stop periodically during the webinar to answer questions, as well as at the end, we'll have time to answer any questions you have about this or any other topic. Okay, great. And so, yeah, just introductions. I'm James. I'm the founder of the company. With us today, we have Emerson and Gabriel from our marketing team. Hi, guys. How are you?
Oh,
Great.
doing fine.
Hello, everybody.
And we have some next events coming up. On December 6th, that's 2 weeks from today, we will have Prepare Your Site for the Holidays. Just some tips about going into the holiday period. Both some tips about, end of year promotions and that kind of thing from a marketing standpoint, as well as settings for your site to do the moderation in an automated fashion, et cetera, why you might be taking time off for the holidays. So look forward to seeing you for that. And then on the 20th, we will have a local SEO session about specifics for running online directories for SEO. And for anybody new here, just a little background on the eDirectory platform very quickly. This is the platform that we sell. It is a platform to build sites for any industry or purpose, listing style sites, directory style sites, etc. It's used for all sorts of things: vendor guides, industry directories, local search, etc. It is highly customizable. There's a great admin interface where you can do most of the, customizing the front end layouts and the fields and all that sort of thing without any code customization. We actually do have the source code available as well if you do want to do deeper customizations or integrate with legacy or other type systems. We have integrated apps, integrated mobile apps where you can create native iPhone and Android apps and install those under your own brand and your own App Store accounts. And we spent quite a bit of time on the SEO optimization so that these directories do well for search results. So if you want to learn more, visit eDirectory.com and just schedule a private demo with an account exec who can speak more about your individual needs and give you a demo of the product. Okay, so on to our topic for today, mastering the listing template editor. And so first, at the end of the day, content is still king. I know that saying's been around forever in terms of the internet. But really the quality of the content is what brings in the visitors, what keeps the visitors. It's what brings in the search engines. Google and the other search engines are pretty sophisticated these days. And the quality and quantity of your content is really key to that, to bringing that in. And so what you want to think about, and with directory style sites, the listing is sort of the atomic piece of the whole thing, the thing at the bottom level. And we're going to talk today about how to configure that. And so the deep, detailed information about a listing is really key. Those fields that you create, not just name, address, but a lot more stuff that you create that sort of, the niche information is really important. And so what you want to do is you want to go for the basics. Obviously, you need the name, address, description, etc. But also try to get unique fields and data that nobody else has. That's what's going to set you apart in this noisy internet world out there, is having really deep, great information about individual listings. And this requires some work to build the data. Some of it may be manual, some of it may be done with scraping tools or whatever else. But the work is worth it. And if you build a really great database, you'll find it does generate traffic, generate leads, and your business will be a success for that. So And so the listing template editor, this is how you set up the individual listings to contain the fields that you want and how the fields are displayed, et cetera, with that. So this is where the listing detail page is built and configured. It is a drag drop visual editor. It's very similar to our page editor where you edit a normal page on the site, where it has widgets and you drag those around and then customize the fields and data for those individual widgets. So you can create a template for basically a default template for all listings. It's actually pre-created in the system after initial setup as a sort of a default, and then you can create individual templates for individual listings. So say you're doing a local search, you may have a general business listing that covers everything, but then you can also create restaurant listings that have specific fields like cuisine types offered, or do they have valet parking and that type of thing, and then another listing template for golf courses that may have other things specific to golf courses, for instance. And this is really a powerful feature to have separate fields, for the individual listings and categories for that. You can also create custom fields and adjust and modify the design, of course, as far as these go. Has a multiple tab layout where you can create tabs on the detail listing page. Lots of great stuff there. Okay, and then I think at this point I turn it over to Emerson.
Okay, thank you, James. So I'm going to show you a little bit about the listing detail page taxonomy, just to explain the basic of the structure of the page. Then I'm going to show the main widgets, and at the end of the presentation, I will pull up my sample listing and show you the back end and the front end, how they work, and the main widgets. Okay, so if you have any question, just pop in the chat, and James will stop and answer the questions. Okay, so this is one of a sample of a listing detail page. As you will see, you can build this in different ways, but basically we'll have the page header and then the listing header that could be just an image or a gallery, whatever. You have plenty of options to decide. With logo, without logo, with just contact information. After that, you have tabs, so you can divide the information in tabs to better organize and display the information, or you can get rid of tabs and use just what we call the body of the page. So you can, if you want to, you can display all the information about a listing, about this business in just a single page. And we have here what we call the sidebar. So you can divide the page into two main parts, which is the body and the sidebar. Or you can also get rid of the sidebar and have just one single page widely. And of course, the page footer, which is the one for all the websites. And the listing detail page is built also by widgets. So you can drag and drop and rearrange the widgets on your listing detail pages. It's very simple to use. So you can select from the listing header, you can add banner ads on the listing detail page. We have the standard fields, just like contact information, long and short description, image gallery, additional image, opening hours, maps, and many other standard fields. To create this rich detail page, you have to take advantage of the custom fields. We have plenty available, such as the marketplace, where they can have a storefront to display products and services with additional information, imagery. You can use the call to action button, which drives traffic to an external URL. You can have checklist type of fields, features, which is these icons plus text, where the listing owner, the advertiser, will select the text and the icon they want to display on their listings. You can create a drop-down list, for example, if they are taking reservations or no, just to create more content on the detail page. You can add single image or even image gallery for the listing detail page. You can have a range to display pricing or to display any other icon that you think it's relevant for that category, for example. Another very important widgets are the linked listings and the related listings. The difference between them is that for the linked listings, as we can see here, an advertiser can add another listings on that detail page. So it's good for a number of situations. Here on my sample, we have this broker, this real estate agency that's also listing all of the properties under his account on a specific tab. So it's good for the advertiser to showcase more listings on his account on that single page. And the related listings is a feature that automatically displays content based on the category or the location or both category and location. It helps on engagement as the visitor, the end user, will see more content on the same category or location for that listing. If it's a restaurant or if it's a drugstore, a painter, whatever it is. The listing detail page, it also has another elements that you can use to enrich the page as the deals, events, classifieds, and articles. The advertiser can associate this type of content on the listing detail page. So you have widgets available to display these items, and you can rearrange these widgets on specific tabs or on the main body of the page. It's up to you. It's a matter of choosing the design you want to, what works best for your audience. And we have some additional plugins, additional features that are not on the base code, but you can add to your website that will impact directly on the listing detail page. For example, you can add an HTML editor for the listing detail page, so you can, you and your advertiser can add some external scripts such as a booking engine or a calendar or an event or any external service that works based on HTML codes. You have the instanted messaging that adds buttons for WhatsApp, Telegram, and Facebook Messenger on the listing detail page. So it makes easier, even easier for the end user to reach out to the advertiser. There are the plugins, multiple videos that allows for the advertiser to post more than one YouTube video. The multiple locations, that is very useful for when a drugstore, for example, has several branches, so they can list all the addresses on the same listing. It's very good for this situation. And the advanced review, that you can create several types of evaluation, more questions for people to review on this detail, on this business. And they can add also pictures on the review. So it's a very important feature to create user-generated content that will add value and content and relevance to your pages. And when you create these custom fields, you must select to which level they will be available to. For example, if you create a rich field such as additional image, you can just add this to your most expensive tier of listing. So every time you are going to create a new field, don't forget to go to the levels and price menu and configure to which level this will be available. And you must do that to both standard and custom fields. Any questions up to here, James?
No, I don't think so. Just for anybody that's new here and hasn't seen the product, the listings in the directory, we have ability to have multiple levels of listings. So like a diamond level could be a very large listing with lots of images and photos and multiple multiple tabs, etc. Whereas the basic listing is much smaller, and then you can charge different prices for this. Just to mention that.
Okay, so let me just pull up my test website here. Are you still seeing my screen?
Yes,
Okay,
we are.
okay, perfect. So when you log in and you go to your dashboard, you just go here on the content section, listings, and then you'll be able to see the listing templates here. I'm going to open one that the one that you use the most here to explain all the great features of the directory, which is this restaurant listen with a marketplace widget. So this is the basic of the listing template editor. You are going to create a title for this that must be very precise, so the advertiser will see the name of template and will easily understand which one he has to pick it up. So you can select if this template will be available to one category or to all category if you leave this empty. And if you have the advanced review plugin, you can here create the rating types for each listing template. So if you have different categories on your website and these categories are using different listing templates, so you can create different rating types based on the category of the business. Very quickly, just show you, you can select the summary card for the results page, so you can create even more differentiation, a design differentiation for the results page by selecting different types of summary cards. And here's is what we are telling since from the beginning. You have here the header option. So I have this one here, but there's this plus icon that you can see all the headers available. You have this thin header, a centralized, another kind of centralized header, one with gallery that automatically shows the imagery up here, and one with slider image. So if you have more than 3 images, it will create this slider feature on your listing detail page. Just select one. It's very simple to use. Then you can select if you're going to add a banner ads on the detail page. It's very simple to do that as well. And here we have the tabs. So you can create several tabs as you want to. Just pay attention on design, both desktop and mobile, because if you have a lot of tabs, it may be confusion for navigation. So you can take advantage of these tabs, but be aware that not to create an issue here.
Emerson, it might be a good idea. Are you able to toggle over and show what the front of a listing looks like with this template?
Yes, sure. Let me pull up one here.
I think people would like to see that. And while he's pulling that up, let me just run down the questions if that's okay at this point. We had a couple come in here. First question: do you have any Black Friday deals available? Yes. We'll talk a little bit more about that at the end of the webinar here. Is there an expiration date when you can purchase App Store submission? No. You can always purchase App Store submission after the order. Is it possible to insert an iframe into the code that can display content for other websites inside of my listing? Yes, that can be done, I think, with the HTML code widget. So if you put in the HTML widget or custom content, that'll allow you to do that. You just have to be careful what's in the iframe, of course. Do you have templates for dentist, restaurant, etc., shown here for us to use, or do we create them ourselves? I think our default has a few templates in it, but typically it depends on the type of directory, and you're really going to want to tweak those. So I highly recommend you create all your templates yourself. If we do have a couple there in the system there for you, I think for the basic sort of yellow page categories though. Could you please show an example? I think that's it right now. And then last question. Sometimes my tabs are not shown on the front end. What could be the reason for that? Reach out to support if you're not seeing your tabs on the front end. It may be that the content wasn't filled in for the individual listing for the tab. But reach out to support if you're having an issue, and our team can take a look. Okay, Emerson, back to you.
Okay, just an explanation. If a tab is not showing up on the front, probably it's because there is no content on it. So if you have a tab for photos, for example, and there is no photo on the listing, so the tab won't be displayed. So it helps on user experience because people won't click and see nothing. So they will see just what exists on the listing detail page. So that's the main explanation, but depending on the case or the listing associated, the event associated on that listing detail page may be expired. So it depends on several factors. But okay, back here, as I was telling you, so this is the header with gallery, contact information, etc. So we have this here. So this is the gallery. If I add more photos, the mosaic is going to change automatically. The contact information, I have the advanced review plugin, so it displays all the 4 rating types I created. The WhatsApp and Facebook Messenger button. If you add a Telegram number, it will show up here as well. And the tabs. So just complementing the question. So I have here lots of tabs for reviews, for offers, for classifieds, for example. But on the front end, as I do not have a classified associated with this listing, the listing for Adelita, so I have no classifieds tab here. So it does not display because I don't have a classified associated with this listing, okay? So here I have the banner ads, as you can show, as you can see here, we have the banner ads, and then the fields, the standard fields, as the about us, which is the long description that pulls up the main image of the listing as well. Here I created a custom field using the HTML editor. So that's this description field. As I have the HTML plugin applied to my site, so I can have this feature for HTML edition. So we added this external script from OpenTable. It's an HTML code it was just a copy and paste action here that I can display then external content on the listing detail page. This is a custom field created on the listing template editor. This highlight of the week is a single image, an additional image 1 by 1. There's the gallery image as well, another widget that you can take advantage. The hours of the opening hours. A custom field of the checklist type. Let me show you. So I can create like this: credit card accepted, Visa, MasterCard, Amex. When you create this checklist type, let me edit this very quickly just to show you. So I can create the several options here, and the advertiser will just check what they offer. So it's very easy to fill in this, and I have the content displayed on the front end. You can even select the label and the icon that's going to be displayed, if it's a check mark or if it's another icon available on the icon library we are using. And you can even hide the label from the front end of the website. The label is this one, so you can get rid of this and have just the checklist. This button, this is the CTA call to action button. Very simple to use as well. You're going to create as many as you want and select the design of these and the label. Very simple to use. Products and services. This is what we call it, the marketplace widget, that you are going to display products, services, whatever you want to, your advertiser wants to display, and you can select by level how many items the advertiser can publish on the page. You can even leave it without price, or just put something different here, like ask me for a special, etc. You are not, it's not mandatory to have a price here. This one is the features type that I mentioned on the beginning of the presentation, where the advertiser will select the icon and the label they want to use here. So they can create almost anything that's available on the icons library. This is for the range I mentioned. So let me check that here. Have range. Oh, here. So you can select the label, the icon, if the range is 1 to 5, 1 to 3. So it's easier to create the design you want using these very simple fields. Here we have the related listings, the listings that's going to be automatically displayed on the website based on category, location, or category and location, how it's going to sort the order, how many items, and from which levels these listings will be displayed. So you can have just your main content, your most expensive, the most important content on your website with additional exposure by selecting the highest levels. And here I have the linked listings, where the advertiser will select the listings he wants to display on their listing detail pages. So it's very simple for you, site owner, site manager. You just have to select the display label for the front end. So the advertiser will select the listings and adjust their pages. On the front end, again, the price range, as I mentioned, 1 to 3, 1 to 5, you select these. This is the linked listings widget. You can put this on the main page or on the sidebar. It's up to you. And as I don't have any related listings here, I can pull up another sample and show you the related listings. For example, this is a property type sample listing. And at the end, I have these similar properties in the same area. So I just configured these to display another listings on the same category and same location. So for this example, which is a property listing, if you are looking for a apartment in New York, they will show similar apartments in New York. So it will keep matching the initial search of the end user. I believe that's the main samples I have to show here. James, anything else to add? You are on mute, too.
Okay, sorry about that. No, I think we had a couple questions come in. Let's just jump into the questions here, and I'll read them. And if anybody has any more questions, just drop them into the chat here. Okay, let's see. I think the next one on the list is their functionality in the eDirectory to allow creation of an OfferUp website app. To follow up on my question, is there functionality to allow members to limit search results to specific geographic areas such as cities, zip codes, et cetera, for that? So for anybody that doesn't know, OfferUp is a US-based sort of marketplace-y type website. eDirectory does a lot of very similar things to that. So if you're looking for something similar to that, certainly reach out, talk to an account exec, because we're kind of in a similar type platform to build that type of a site. As far as functionality to allow members, visitors to search around specific geographic areas. We actually have a plugin that's a market selection plugin that allows people to sort of select a market like a city zip, et cetera, and then go into that market and restrict the search and the content that's displayed based on that. So I think we have you covered there, but I'd say that offer up has a lot of functionality. Some of it works a little bit different, et cetera. So reach out and we can see what you're trying to do and give you a tour and go through some of the specifics on that. So hopefully that answers that. Next question, is the HTML widget an upgrade or a plugin? Emerson, that's a plugin, right? The HTML modification for the detailed listing
Yeah,
page.
that's correct.
It is a plugin,
It's a
yes.
plugin.
It's pretty cheap though, and I would be careful actually about using that one. I know we're selling the plugin, but people can create a sort of messy, really messy listings with that. If you leave it open to the user to drop HTML in there, so I'd be careful with that widget. But yeah, it is available if you do want to open it up.
But
But
James,
we do
we
have a
have
lot.
the feature to put all the modified listings on a moderation queue, so
So you
the
can take a
site
look
owner
at it.
can still take a look before approving it to
Sure,
goes live.
sure. Yep. Okay, great. Next question. Is it possible to create instructions for the listing owner on how to fill this out? But instructions should not be displayed on the front to visitors, I suspect. Yes, you can do that. And I think it's pretty self-explanatory. I think by the time somebody reads the instructions, they can probably look at the interface and figure it out. And I think some of them have little help tips and all that. But and it may be that you want to do a little custom and put in there a couple links, and there may be a little bit of cost to do that, but it's probably pretty insignificant if you want to put something into the process as far as instructions go. But check that out. You can log into our demo at demodirectory.com and go through the sponsor area, figure out what you want changed, and then talk to an account exec as far as that goes. Is it possible to create tags instead of categories and have the platform filter listings based on tags? So a tag is sort of like, I guess, a saved search or something along those lines. We don't use tags because we already have the filters and other stuff in there. That's something that could be potentially customized, or you could create some saved searches and create a custom content widget and then link into those tags via that. So you could kind of do it yourself depending on what you're trying to do. I think you can get there, but that's something you want to probably talk through with an account exec if you're curious on that specific option. I'm thinking about creating a directory for companies, and every company should have its own company profile. Due to the fact that my industry has a lot of products, I'm planning to have a listing for each product. Yeah, so this is how you would use the related listings where you have the company and then related product listings for that. The company listing should contain link to the products. How can I do that with eDirectory? Yeah, so related listings, check out that feature there. And then you create a company listing and then a product listing and separate listing templates for each one of those and then link them together. So that's what that functionality was built for. And then a question, how do we add restaurant reservation functionality to our sites? Yeah, we can, we have a knowledge base entry on doing that, right, guys? Do we have one of those, do you think, on putting in like an open table
Yes,
widgets?
I can show very quickly how it's
Okay.
done. It's very
Yeah,
simple.
it's really simple. It's really simple to do that. So all of these external reservation systems have typically little script widgets, and you go in there, create your account, or get the little snippet for the individual listing, and then you drop it into a widget on the listing form as basically an overview. Emerson's going to show it to you right here.
Okay, so on my sample listing, I have this one from OpenTable. I mean, this restaurant has a profile on OpenTable, so it's easier for them to put this here. And they have another option, which is this more horizontal one. So
They have two
both are,
widgets. You pick which one you want to do, and you can put them both in or one of them in on each area there
yeah,
if you want.
yeah. So
And OpenTable is probably the leading booking engine in the United States for restaurants.
yeah, so let me add to this listing. Just a second. Okay, so on the listing template editor, I created two fields for booking engine. They will appear on here. Let me show you. Opening hours. Okay, I have this one here. Type in your reservation link. I created this custom field. Is this is the call to action button. Sorry about that. So I have this paste your booking tool script here. So it's very simple. It's just an HTML copied from OpenTable, from the website OpenTable. I have the widget exactly as they provided. This is one, and this is the other. So it's just the HTML code pasted here. So the first thing I did was to create the field on the listing template editor. Let me show you again. It's this one, this description field. I created this as on the listen template editor and gave the name, paste your open table reservation code here. So when the advertiser is filling their listing, they will see here, paste your open table reservation code here. It will show up on the front end.
Okay, great. And Warren, if you're having any trouble with that, just reach out to our support team and they can walk you through on your specific instance there to get that done for you. It's pretty straightforward, I think, though. Next question from Adam. Can you connect to MLS directly to the real estate team that will pull in the listings automatically? So MLS is a service in the US, a database of real estate properties available, multiple listing service. We don't have an integration for that at this point. We're not sure if we're going to put one in or if it's there may be some third-party scripts or something along those lines. There's some bureaucracy around getting MLS connection, data connection there for that, and it seems like it's a little bit of a headache to get that set up. So we haven't done that yet. If you really need that, reach out and we'll see what's involved for getting that set up for you to get MLS data in there. And then there's likely third-party little things that you can use to get that data and get it into the directory as far as that goes. But we are looking at that, and in the future we'll probably have something that's out of the box ready to go for that. But in the meantime, just reach out to our team here, and we'll see what we can do to make that happen for you. Okay, great. And then just a comment here that came in. Emerson is a great expert, always helpful to talk with him and receive his advice. Great team. Well, thanks for the feedback. That's great to hear. We appreciate it. Our team does try here. So always like hearing the feedback, both good and bad. So let us know. Thanks, everybody. Well, great. If there's anybody has any last questions, drop them in now. Otherwise, just wanted to wish everybody in the US anyway, a happy Thanksgiving. As far as the Black Friday specials, yes, we do have some Black Friday specials. We actually sent out or sending out an email blast, but we'll reach out to you as well. If anybody needs didn't get the Black Friday special information, just let us know. Send an email in or pop something in the chat here, etc. But we do have, and we'll reach out to you about that, the Black Friday deals certainly. But we do have some promos going on. And everybody have a great day, great Thanksgiving. Thanks a lot. We'll see you next time.
Thanks a lot, everybody.